We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I hope a good surprise. I could flip all the time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made of light, and it's sure, yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold, yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting, I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away, there's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never happened. Eternal, I'm alive again. Eternal, I'm alive again. Our story never stand. What I'm saying might be reckless, but I meant it when I said it. And I know I might regret it, but it's time I give a lesson. Hope your feelings, they don't lessen. Knowing I'm not where you are, it's this feeling in my heart, and it aches when we're apart. I can't stand to see the stars, knowing I'm not where you are, while you're playing in the dark. I am tired, so won't you come to bed soon? Wait in my bedroom, counting the hours till you get to me. Watched by the white moon, stuck in my bedroom, counting the hours till you get to me. Drowning out in all the echoes. Where's the plans back on the window? Knowing full well I should let go. Just in case you didn't know, these emotions that might show. Knowing I'm not where you are, it's this feeling in my heart, and it aches when we're apart. I can't stand to see the stars, knowing I'm not where you are, while you're playing in the dark. I am tired, so won't you come to bed soon? Wait in my bedroom, counting the hours till you get to me. Watched by the white moon, stuck in my bedroom, counting the hours till you get to me. I can't wait, I feel you getting closer. Count the minutes till I see you come on over. Overwhelmed, can't wait, I know you're getting closer. Count the minutes till I see you. Won't you come to bed soon? Wait in my bedroom, counting the hours
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à la mini-RPG de la week. Mon nom est Quantum Deathcat, je suis ici avec Babs, comment ça va?
Bonsoir, bonsoir, comment ça va tout le monde? Ça va très bien, de mon côté en tout cas, j'espère que toi aussi tu vas bien. Très très en forme pour cette soirée de Mini RPG of the Week.
Oh, c'est super excitant aujourd'hui, une autre semaine, c'est la 6e cette fois-ci pour la mini-RPG de la week. Écoute, ça fait une couple de semaines que tu n'étais pas venu ici, mais j'étais ici la semaine dernière. Ça n'a pas super bien été, il n'y avait pas vraiment de la consistance, puis personne n'a même fait l'Author Time, alors on espère que ça l'arrive cette fois-ci.
Ah bah écoute, j'espère que ma présence apportera un peu de niveau cette semaine parce que c'est ce qu'on recherche. C'est ce qu'on recherche, on verra ce que ça va nous donner.
On cherche un petit peu de consistency. Je pense que c'est ça le mot qu'il cherche.
Consistency for anybody who's wondering what the hell we're on about. we're just speaking in Trackmania language, which of course everybody knows is French. But welcome everyone to week 6 of season 2 of Mini RPG of the Week. Looking to be a very exciting season, a very exciting week. We're looking forward to some good Trackmania today. As QDC was saying, it was a bit inconsistent yesterday, or sorry, last week, and we're looking for a bit of a higher level this week, or some closer rounds maybe.
Maybe not a higher level, because the players were playing at a high level, but the map was absolutely brutal for them. Listen, I don't know if you got to check any of it, but as I said, no one got author time during the run, and the finish was so brutal that everyone was just going for the safe finish unless they were going to be eliminated. That's how brutal the risky was.
That's sounds like a map I don't want to play. But going into this week, having read up a little bit on the map we're going to be playing today, made by Mr. Bigleuse. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, or maybe it's Monsieur Bigleuse. It seems to be a simple map focused on enjoyment. So mini RPG of the week, but like a week that is focused on enjoyment. So I can imagine this coming down to more pure pace rather than some tricks and risky fins. And it's really going to come down to the pace that we have today, I imagine.
Listen, if it becomes unenjoyable and we see a lot of minuses, I think he'll need to change his name to Big Lulz at that point.
QDC, I can always trust you to come out with the great name puns.
Always.
Nice stuff, nice stuff.
I am always here to bring the wonderful puns and pans. Actually, I made myself a great soup. About 2 hours. I took longer to make soup today than I will casting.
That sounds very nice though, and yeah, on a cold, well, winter's evening for me. I don't know what it's like for you, QDC. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's evening for you.
I've not seen grass in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'll say that much.
Okay, as we hop in now to the server, and we're gonna get our first taste of the map. Scenery is looking very nice, I have to say.
Yeah, scenery looking like looks like a lumber yard, honestly. Very Canadian-like in all terms and regards, but maybe that's just my bias coming out here. As we can see, I do believe this is the GPS? No, I don't think so. Is it? No,
yeah, it is the GPS.
Oh. Alright, well the GPS has a lot of time to get up, so this is not an optimal GPS. I don't think this can be the author time, so... And if it is, then I think the players will have a field day getting this author time.
Yeah, the mapper did tell us that he was expecting times in the 54s, 55 I believe, and maybe like a world record in the 53s. So we'll have to wait and see what the players can do.
Yeah, this is a 58, and obviously the author time is a 55-1. I'm expecting somewhere in the range of low 53s by the end of this. Maybe even by the end of the warm-up, we could see maybe 153. I wouldn't be too surprised. This looks more like a couple of day map, even though it does seem to be a bit blurry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it looks like a simple enough map, and that's not a criticism in any way. It just looks less reliant on, like, you know, very complicated tricks. Maybe using verticality a little bit more, so those jumps where the camera angle might not be ideal. for players to be using, but it'll be interesting to see as we have Damalos on the screen at the moment, who's doing his first discovery runs.
Hey, listen, as long as it doesn't give anyone vertigo and the map isn't vertigo, right? I think the players are going to be very happy. Could you imagine if we just had mini RPG of the week and it was just straight up vertigo?
Just sounds like you're sending a message to the mappers for future weeks.
Actually, funny enough, Vertigo is my favorite TMGL map, so I wouldn't actually mind. Everyone else absolutely hating the map. I loved how risky it was with the pipes and all. It was an absolute treat to watch. And everyone disagrees.
Let's see what the players think of this map. As for the moment, we've got NX in first place, who's already hit a 53.6. So
yeah, not surprising.
Yeah, the world record time that the mapper was saying has already pretty much been beaten, and I'm expecting it maybe even to get into the 52s, and we'll see how much further it can go, because we're very early into this discovery phase. Has a bit of a connection issue, I think.
Mange-moi l'internet, more like. he's pulling into a lake right there.
Yeah, maybe his dog is eating his Ethernet cable. I don't know.
It's funny. Well, 53s aside now, if a 53s happened within the first 4 minutes, there's no way we don't get into the 52s at this point, right? So, wouldn't be surprised if we even see a 52 by the end of the warm-up, and 52.5, I would say.
I was going to ask you if you thought we might even hit 51s.
Ooh, I think that might be a little asking for a little bit too much in the 51s. But we'll see where how much time save can be found, right? Obviously not by the end of the warm-up, though. Not a 51 by the end of the warm-up. Maybe on a world record hunt, though.
Yeah, I can see that maybe in world record, a high 51. Because, I mean, I don't know. We can't know. We're not playing. We're only speculating. But we just want to see
you actually play this game, unlike me, so...
I do. Doesn't mean I'm good at it.
Oh. I mean, I played it. I mean, there's only one campaign where I got every author medal. That was a year and a half, actually, nearly 2 years ago. Oh my god.
I mean, everybody has their own objectives in this game, and that's what makes it so great. And we're going to see which players have the objective of trying to get that #1 spot this week. Who's up in contention as Luasis gets first place with a 53.467.
We're also getting a 54.2, so right off the bat we can see that there's a lot of players with a lot of pace, and no surprise if we fall down to the 52s before the end of the warm-up. I think most of the top players will...
52.8. Sorry, 52.5, sorry.
52.5?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah, are we gonna see 51?
Yeah, we just dropped a second, like just like that. Like who needs 52 anyway?
Mr. Biglows, I think your name is now Mr. Biglows, minus in chat. There you go, change your name. Faut que tu changes ton nom là, t'es Mr. Biglows.
Unfortunate scenes, dramatic scenes in this week of Mini RPG of the Week.
I don't know what the meme is called, but the guy who's oh, you can't see me, with his hands up in the air as he gets turned to dust and he screams. That's Mr. Biglows right now.
Okay, 52.5, got Luasis into the 52s as well, so 2 players into the 52s. I'd expect this to at least get to a 52 low, if not 51s. With 9 minutes left, there's a lot of time to be gained, I imagine.
I can't imagine this being a fluke run, you know, not this early on either into the warm-up, right? Like, I get a lot of fluke runs when I play this game, where my best runs are often, like, done the first 15 minutes, and then for an hour later I still haven't been able to beat it. I've not been able to replicate it. And of course those happen from time to time, but I doubt it would happen A, this early, right? And that B, no one would be able to at least replicate it.
Yeah, and also on a map this long, like this is, you know, an over 50-second map. It's difficult to fluke it for a whole 50 seconds, sure. Especially on RPG. Even though, yeah, as you said, this map looks a bit like a track of the day. It seems to flow quite nicely, and you know, the turns aren't too harsh. But yeah, maybe we'll see some players that we don't necessarily see every week. Maybe those players who are more just just fast players, maybe not RPG players necessarily, who might shine this week.
More 53s and a 52 coming in now. This time from Luisis. Not too big of a surprise though, seeing that they're still halfway through, and most players, they haven't done a representative lap, I think, just yet. They're still feeling out the map, right? Obviously, if you're inconsistent at the part, you want to just reset at a certain checkpoint and do that over and over again.
Yeah, and we're only halfway through Discovery. 7 minutes 30 to go. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see who gets the 51. I've said it's gonna happen. It has to happen now.
Do you want to bet on it? You have some funds. I have a. Oh, you can't see this. I have a toonie. I have a $2 Canadian coin.
I feel like this would be the most difficult to complete transaction there has ever been.
I'll mail it straight to your place.
Okay, we'll bet that $2. Well, I mean, if you win, you just keep it, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have a $2 coin?
Let me see. Let me see.
But, I don't know. I forget, you're in France right now, right?
I'm in France, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a €2 coin, is there?
We do have a €2 coin. I have one right in my hand at the moment.
Really? Oh, I didn't know.
There we go.
Huh. All right.
I wonder if is there any chance we can get a prediction going?
Prediction in chat. Who gets the? Well, there we go. Whoa, that's a 0.3.
Okay. Do we see a sub 51? Like,
do we see a 49? What is that?
That's over a second quicker than anybody else.
Enix, are you okay? Hello?
I wonder, has he found a trick or something that some people don't know? Because that's impressive.
We didn't even have time to do do suggestion at all. It was just straight up, yeah, no. Here's the 51. Too bad you both lose.
That's true. Yeah, our bet is gone, man.
Yeah, our bet's gone.
Ah.
Guess you won't be seeing this $2 Canadian coin.
Unless, do we see 50?
I mean, you have time to put in a prediction before it happens.
Oh, what's that line? Oh, that's the line.
Risky. But is that too slow on the exit, though? Won't that nullify? Maybe not.
Depends. Let's see what this time ends up. Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, that, yep, pole does nullify your time, though.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see... Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh? Oh, no. This isn't... Oh, my God. No way. No way. Okay. That scared me. If that was the route, that would be broken. That would be...
yeah. Make for some interesting rounds.
That would be scary if that was it, because then that it's like hitting a slow-mo block, right? Because of the 100 to 200 speed that you'd have in that section. You just see everyone side by side at a really slow snail's pace. Oh my God, are they gonna make it? Who's gonna overtake with no speed at all?
You have to think right now. Enix is still, like, the times haven't changed. He's still 1.1 seconds ahead of Yannick's. Like, are those players like Yannick's thinking, what has he found? Well, how is he so quick? Like, what do I need to try and do to catch up? So I can imagine there might be a few people who are speccing Enix at the moment, and it might even be in his interest just to not play. Just stay on the start block. Just don't show them what you found, and you can take it into rounds.
That is true, but then someone's gonna turn on ghosts, and then they're gonna imitate him, right? Even if he doesn't do it in the warm-up round.
Yeah, Nix found it. Yannick's found it. Yeah. 51.2 from Yannick's, the guy who's been
sacred.
Yeah, he's been lighting up the scoreboard in the last like 4 or 5 weeks. No surprise to see him at the top again.
Ooh, nice drifter from BMX. Does he have a good time on his hands? 51. Oh, it's gonna be a 52.6.
52.6. That's still top 4.
Very sick time from him. Look at 52s being done, actually. Very nice.
As I'm looking through the leaderboard, seeing a few Irish names as well. As you know, whenever I'm on the cast, I bring my Green Army with me.
Yes, of course, of course.
We have Walshy in 6th, and we have Hot Swat in 11th. Nice to see.
Do you think Dank is in here as well, or is he off doing other Dank things?
I think Dank is danking elsewhere. But I'd be interested to see what Hot Swat can do on this map. Hot Swat is an ex-pro player, pro player about 10 years ago for Dignitas, and I can tell you from first-hand experience, he has got incredible pace. He is just a very fast player, and as I was saying, on a map like this where pace is rewarded, that could play a factor.
It definitely could. It's definitely really cool, right, to have that kind of history and to come into a competition. And some people who don't even know, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of knowledge is lost to time. Like, if you look at Wikipedia, it's very incomplete, especially for the very early days of Trackmania. Some people probably don't even know every world champion, right? All they know is that, oh yeah, Carl Jr.'s won 5, right? And maybe that Carl won the first one, right? Won the first Trackmania World Cup, and that's about it. That's the extent of the knowledge.
Yeah, no, true.
Queen always got second place every competition he ever got. Poor guy. The best player to never win anything.
That might change now, as he's just signed for Cinders Esports alongside his friend Kappa. We'll see how that turns out. And in this lobby, we've got some players who are trying to write their own piece of history, try and get on those Wikipedia pages, get a good finish in this week of Mini RPG of the Week, and that's essentially what this competition is about. Everybody's here to enjoy themselves and to play a fun map in Knockout, and it's nice to see. It's very nice to see.
You're gonna need top 8 though, so being 9th place, being on the bubble, how much does that hurt in your opinion to be on the bubble? Kind of like in poker, where you get knocked out 1 just before the money.
For a lot of these players who might be looking for that bit of competition, like I'm looking at the leaderboard, I'm looking at Walshy in 10th. It's a very nice reward to have, because those players who enjoy that competition need something to motivate them, you know, need that kind of goal to try and achieve, and that's essentially what Trackmania is about. Everybody sets themselves a goal, and then achieving that is such a reward. So yeah, those Wikipedia pages, that top 8 is a nice little reward after a 40 minute to an hour effort. So yeah, not getting it or even finishing 9th is a bit difficult to take.
It surely is a sting for a few players, especially the ones where it's a bit more important to them, right? Maybe it's their first Wikipedia entry. Maybe they want to just be consistent, and that's like their only goal is to get a Wikipedia and not like necessarily win it all, right?
No, definitely, and I mean, myself as a player, I can remember my first Wikipedia entries, and it does mean something to you to see your name amongst others and see your performances being highlighted. As we have Discovery just ended, we're heading into no KO. Yannick was in first place with that 51-2 that we saw earlier, NX in second, and I'm not sure if anybody else found the cut. Nico is in third, and he's nearly a second behind.
I know that Yogg was going for it, but it's all about the landing in it as well, right? Which I think is the biggest problem, where you're gonna land in a really awkward angle most of the time and lose a lot of speed. So I think it's worth to go for it if you're, let's say, in the later rounds, but like look at how slow Yannick is, and all the other players behind him, right? You can see they've caught up to him quite a bit. Of course, he's still in the lead, but he's just slower out of the exit. So if you get an even worse entry than that, right, then you're going to be in deep trouble. Wait, that was actually fast. That was actually faster.
What time is this going to be?
Huh?
51-4, that is very close to his PB. I'm not sure if that was intentional. I can't imagine it was.
Well,
but that was very fast.
And Lucis also got 51s there, so 52s at least. But no one else got a 52. Ooh.
Yeah, I did see when we went through that section, it was Yannick in first who went for that cut, and then a string of French players who followed. So it's not only Yannick and Yannick who know about it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who can do it consistently and consistently fast enough, as you were saying, because you need that speed coming out of it to have any advantage.
Now that ending that Yannick's did, that crash into the bug slide, I think that was actually legitimately faster. I don't know how consistent it is, but he was definitely accelerating more than he was slowing down.
Yeah, I think because he spent less time on the grass and was on the tarmac earlier, allowed him to accelerate earlier as well, which meant he probably was faster going into that end section. As we head into the first round, 4 players are going to be eliminated. We have our 62 players. I don't imagine there will be too many DNFs on this map.
No, unless the timer were like 10 seconds, at which point I don't think that'd be fair.
So we've already had a string of mistakes, a string of respawns, or even late starters. So yeah, hopefully they'll be able to get to the end in time, because it's not looking good right now for these 5 to 10 players or those stuck on the start line.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna have some late starters. You're gonna have some people who get the unfortunate bug that still exists of pressing escape by accident and then not being able to start the round until 20 seconds later. That's a wonderful time when that happens in Cup of the Day.
As I've just seen that booster there beside the rock. Don't know if people are going for the inside line or we're trying a drift to go outside to get the booster. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody tries that. As you see, the arrows have been color-coded to indicate which is harder and which is more easy.
Yeah. Right now on the stream, we're watching Nabla, who's really struggling. But poor guy, does he have time? 30 seconds left. He knows of the cut, but
does he?
He does, but he doesn't have the speed. Okay, he saved it, but I think he need perfect pace, and that's not perfect pace right there to stay alive. So sadly, we're gonna say goodbye to at least 6 players, which would be Half Red, Nabla, Jungle, Simil, Stickle, and Meltdown. Let's see if there are any others. Oh, a 7th player. Punisher.
And who is that 7th player? Ooh. Punisher. So 7 players out first round as we head into the second round. Now, normally we shouldn't have any late starters. We had 1 late starter, a Swedish guy. As I saw as well, somebody cutting to the right on the start, going through the grass. Not sure if that's faster or not.
I don't think going under the bridge is faster. That
No.
I can guarantee. Turbo currently in the lead with Phoenix in second. Lucius as well as he's still fighting towards that lead, as there's plenty of players towards the bottom that we do not recognize too often, right? But players who do play very often just honestly want to have fun. There's nothing wrong with coming over to Mini RPG of the Week and having fun.
Definitely not. Mini RPG of the Week and the RPG community as a whole is a very welcoming community, and it's a style that more people should be playing because it is extremely enjoyable. Now this environment is a little bit more competitive, and towards the end of this competition we'll see those competitors rise to the top. But it's definitely nice to see some new faces and people exploring and discovering, as we have Eiktirner, I'm gonna pronounce it like that, who's in 53rd at the moment, and it's not looking great for him as there's been a respawn in front of him, but he can't make that little speed check.
Yeah, that speed check's a bit brutal. TM 2020 has a different relationship with RPG than TMNF did, though, right? In the sense where the TMNF RPG tournaments, oh no, Turner, you could have saved that. You could have been in. He would have been on orange, but he would have been in Sag.
So we've seen a minus from Halligan and 1 from Hasto.
Big lols. Big lols.
Yeah. I just have to.
I've done some TMNF competitions in the past, mostly RPG ones, right? Where the maps were 5 to 8 minutes long, right? You're just competing to be the fastest player who just knows the map, right? You've played the map for a couple of hours each, right? You know the fastest way through, and it's all about executing it.
Yeah,
but there aren't that many competitions like this for TM 2020, though.
It's true, and it's why it's so nice to see. I play Mini mini RPG of the week now and then, and it's such an enjoyable experience, even if you don't necessarily do that well, as we have Yara, who's not doing that well down in 43rd. It's still such a fun thing to be a part of, and I'm sure we've got many players who are all in VC at the moment, so like groups of players playing against each other. And you were talking about that spot that you want to get, that motivation, and sometimes it's just beating your friends which is the motivation, and I'm sure there's a lot of players who are looking to beat Yara. Tiger is one of them, who's currently in the danger zone in 49th, and that bunk is not going to help him to get out of it. He makes that jump. I think I saw Yara respawn. Ooh, how are we looking going into the end? It's Nopix who's in that danger zone now in 49th, with a few players right behind him going to the end. Two of them are right beside each other. Who's going to make it first? Nopix made it first ahead of Zuma. Zuma, I think, who missed the finish alongside Subway, and we have our 4 players eliminated this round, being Subway, Letty Peak, Crixino, and I missed the last one. Zuma.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, Yada made it in, right? 47, right on the yellow.
So, yeah, it did.
Just from being very shortly close to the end there, he became the legendary Yatagarasu. There you go.
Exactly.
I'm guessing that's what his name is referencing, right?
Oh, it is, yeah, it is. Even though within the Irish community we call him Dratasahu, and there's a fun story behind that. Which is, I don't know if you know the streamer Hello Mark. You must know Hello Mark. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't know Hello Mark? But yeah, Mark has a very interesting way of pronouncing Yatagarasu. Which, yeah, it's surprising, I know. And yeah, so if you do see Yata, make sure to call him Dratasahu.
I played too much Yu-Gi-Oh! To not know the name, though, of the legendary wings of Yatagarasu.
He'll be very pleased to know that.
Card. And a little bit too much Geometry Dashes. That's also... That card became the level... whatever. It became the decoration and name of a level in Geometry Dash as well, which is very popular.
There's some nice lore for one of our players today. As round number 3, I believe, is ending, and we have King Bizzo TM, who's struggling with this end. We've seen a few players actually struggle with this end, maybe making a mistake earlier on and then not having the speed to just seamlessly make those transitions, those little jumps, and that jump into the finish. Yeah, essentially
into the finish is the hardest, as Akin as well as out, and the best gets the 48th place.
As we see in the chat, people are asking, where's the cut? Where's the cut? They want to know where the cut is, and Anix is not letting up. He's not giving any secrets away. Just, I think the secret is only between him, Yanix, and maybe a few keen followers who might have ghosts on. So we've reached TM, who's made a mistake early on, who's at the back of the pack.
It's still staying alive, and I think that's the most important part of mini RPG, right? Where staying alive, and yeah, sure, you're slow, but even if you're 3 seconds behind the leaders, right? That's a big mistake. And you're for dang sure that there's at least 4 people who are going to make a mistake worse than 3 seconds at this stage. Which is Hotspot.
Yes, Hotspot. Very interesting to see him at the back. He's in 40th position. He's on that limit, with these 2 French players hunting him down, trying to gain that spot. Keen is another Irish player down in the danger zone as well. It's looking... Yeah, Keenus, Keenus, whatever you want to call him, he's coming into the end. As we have Walligan and Uganos, actually 2 names DNF from Walligan, who minus the map earlier on, and he's just minus his way out of here. He thought, you know what, I don't want to play this.
I guess the map just gave him a minus in return.
Exactly, I mean, it must just be karma. And we have a second DNF coming out. But yeah, I don't think they can really complain, because this map is about that skill, about that pace, and those at the front are going to stay in, those at the back are going to be out as we go into the next round, where 4 more players are going to be eliminated.
Top 40 now. We're not necessarily... Normally we wouldn't be in top 40 by round 7, right? After all the last few weeks, normally we had like 20 DNFs in the first round, and then another 6, 7 in the following round, right? So we'd be down to top 40 by like the third round, funnily enough. But this time around, it feels a lot more like a Cup of the Day situation, and that's because it literally played out like it, right? I think this map could have easily become a Cup of the Day map, and it just feels like instead of being separated by div here, everyone's just within the same division.
Definitely, and it's gonna test that that focus. How long can you keep that focus during the rounds? Because there's going to be more rounds essentially, and you're going to have to be consistent over more rounds if you want to stay in. It's not just counting on people making mistakes, it's about you actually being fast in these rounds. And one player who isn't fast enough right now is well, NTY 22, sorry. He's going into the end, he's in that danger zone. I don't think anybody's messed up the finish in front of him. He finishes, but too late, unfortunately, with Didi Drogne behind him, Nalax, the endangered GG player, and Galenium, who also minus the map, who's DNF'd also.
Galenium was actually really fast as well, if I recall correctly, with a 52. Speaking of which, a 51 was done by Nico Jim this round, and so he joins the ranks of the 51 drivers.
Yeah, and I'd seen fourth place we have Walshy, who was asking earlier on where the cut was. I wonder, he's hit a 52 flat, and I wonder if he's done that with the cut, or if he's just maximized his potential on the normal way.
Well, maybe that's why he was in 36th place, right? Just on the edge of the cutoff, with a mistake. Maybe he tried to go for it and just could not do it, as 5 players have made massive mistakes, all of them at least 7 seconds behind the leaders, as looks currently good for Damalos and Flo, but seems like Enix and Lucis are as well catching up to them. I don't know if they did the cut, right? Both Enix and Lucius, as Monkey misses the checkpoint, and I think that's gonna be it for him.
Yeah, that seems like too big of a mistake to recover from. But one person who has a chance is Polch2 here, going into the finish with Moshmo Bullet in front of him, but both of them finish ahead, and he misses the finish, so that's gonna condemn him to an early elimination in that top 36, which, to be fair, for some players, is a very good result.
True. Very good result. I mean, you beat half the people here, right?
Yeah.
You beat half the competition to the end here, and that's really what matters at the end, right? Is that you beat someone. For me, when I played Cup of the Day, especially back when I was playing a lot, back in 2021 when I could, I would say I've tried my best to beat every North American in the server, right? Because there weren't that many. There were only like 4 or 5 normally out of the 60 players, right? And especially like Canadians. I wanted to be the best Canadian there was in the server. That was my goal. And I'm sure everyone here has their own goal in mind, right? As you said, probably the Irish lads are all trying to beat each other in this, but of course you're going to be here until the end, so they can't beat you.
No, of course, and that's the only reason I am here, of course. No, of course not. I'm very much enjoying the cast as always, as we have Seafill who's in first ahead of Lucius, Yannick, Walshy, and the other,
the bottom 4.
The rest of the pack, yeah. There's Damalos as well, who was looking quite quick. He must have made a big mistake. He's far back with Jaka, Yatta, and Hamiral. It's not looking good for him as he goes into the sausage check section. Hamiral is already at the end, but he's still not safe either. He's got a player in front of him. Does he miss the finish? No, he doesn't. That's Lucis. Some very fast players who had a difficult round, and that's going to be Damalos out, Yatta out, Jaka out, and Hamiral out. So yeah, a surprising round there. Quite early on, to be fair.
2 of the 3 fastest players were in the red zone during that round. Lucius comes in orange. He finishes on the last possible spot. And Enix, he was in red for half that round. So, very lucky.
It's just what this style of map brings, that RPG aspect. Yeah. If you make a mistake, it's going to be difficult to recover from, and you need to catch right back up as soon as possible, because if you let too big of a gap grow, then you're just never going to catch up, and it's going to be very difficult to stay in. As we have Yannick, who's made a mistake this round. I think he must have went for the cut and just had a bad landing. as he's the one trying to catch up, and we have Tiger behind him. Hotswat, another fast player that we've seen at the front, goes for the cut again, and this time it pays off, but he's still in that second last place.
Yeah, and he's not caught up by much, though. He'll overtake one player. He'll need to overtake one more to stay in at least this competition here, and just ahead of him is a player that he can overtake. There you go. And he's overtaken, though. You know who else has gotten overtaken? It's Walshy, my guy. I'm so sorry to tell you, but Walshy seems like he's gonna be out, and very, very lucky from the two players who were on red earlier on, Enix and Lucius, because they would have both been out with the times they did last time around in this round.
Very much this end is saving some players who might have made mistakes earlier on in the round and who are able to catch up and pass various players who are making mistakes at this end, and that's what's necessarily saving them. But we've had some fast players go out. Walshy, you mentioned in that round, who's gone out in what was a top 28. And yeah, that's going to be disappointing for him, because he's currently got the 7th best time in the lobby. You know, he's going to be disappointed with that result, and we were talking about the goals that various players have, and he, I don't think, has achieved his goal this week.
No, I think a lot of players... Well, I mean, of course, if everyone has a goal, right, there are some players who are going to come up short. A lot of players are disappointed, and a lot are going to be elated. Others are going to be, oh, okay, I did fine, you know? That was expected. I didn't have the pace. But other players who did have the pace, right, they're going to be a bit peeved off. I mean, Walshy was the fastest player to not get a 51, and so that is going to be a little bit punishing, as he's still currently in the bottom 4, as well as Punpunks and Mangemoil Bollet, who are fighting to get out of here. Oran gets overtaken, but does anyone mess up this finish? Oh, the snipe! Oh, Punpunks! What a snipe at the end! And Pix is out instead! What a snipe by Punks to stay in this competition.
Incredible, and this in these early rounds, in these mid rounds, we're seeing some action. Punpunks, the Sunset Esports player who stays in 20th place, secures that top 20, and you know, if his objective was top 20, you know, he must be elated right now.
Yeah, because obviously not only did he just snipe an amazing time, and on top of, well, not an amazing time, but snipe a player right at the end there, with the riskiest line I've seen so far to go into the ending. But to do it under the pressure, right? Very nicely done.
Very nicely done by Punpunks. He's going to be very happy with that, and let's see if he can continue sniping his way up the leaderboard through these rounds. As I have to say, we're getting to the cream of the crop now. Top 20, you have to say that these are going to be some of the fastest players and some of the most consistent players, as Yoshi is at the back right now. We've still got a lot of French players in. We've still got Yannex, Enix, and some of our favorites here. Yog as well, who you mentioned earlier was going for that cut. Punpugs, who sniped in the last round, who's now down in the danger zone alongside Yorsh. And let's see if he can climb up the leaderboard. It's not looking great right now, as he is still in that danger zone. And who have I seen at the very bottom who's DNF'd?
Sag. That is very, very Sag. Never fun to see that happen, as Turbo as well has made a mistake. He himself is down there. I mean, if you're Hotswat and you go out at the same time as Turbo, you can't be too mad, but Edis trying to get out. Oh, Turbo's not out, in fact. Yorshmi Veloce could still be in, but no, I think he is completely out. So Wolfie as well out. Edis out, and Hotswat. Now we're in top 16.
Hotswat, more like hot washed, I have to say. Out in that top 20 position, and we're into our top 16. And as I said before, we're getting to the fastest players. It's really about just not making mistakes. It's about being fast now. You have to be in that main peloton, or in that main group at the front. So we've Blue Barry going through this transition, and he's in that 16th position at the bottom, but we have had some mistakes, 2 in particular. Jam, oh no, we have Lookers who's DNF'd. After saving himself in the last round, he's DNF'd and wants no more, nothing else to do with this, and he is out. So only one player will be eliminated. Yannex has made the mistake, he's in the danger zone. This is quite worrying for Yannick. As he goes for the cut, he's going to have to get it cleanly. He does in front of Ernie Ball, the French player who's trying to catch up through this dirt transition. He has more speed. Does he carry it through into this tarmac, into this checkpoint? Yes, he does, but it's just not enough at the moment. Yannick is pulling away, and he might continue to pull away as we go into this end. He gets a nice grass slide. Ernie Ball gets one that isn't optimal. Yannick's going into the end. Does he fail it? Of course he doesn't. And Ernie Ball will be the man to go out beside Lucker's Turbo in this round.
How tilting is this for Ernie Ball and Lucker's Turbo? Well, mostly for Turbo, because he DNF'd obviously really early on. Because last round, right? Well, last like 5 rounds. If you got -5, you were out, pretty much. And now, Yannick is in with a -14. I'd be pissed. I'd be absolutely exasperated because 5 players were +10. You know?
And when it happens, you feel like it only ever happens to you.
Right.
It's one of those things, and I'm sure many a Trackmania player have experienced that. And one person who'd be looking to not experience that is Barry, who's very far back. Blue Barry, another Irish player. As Yannick has made a mistake again. Is it that cut which is just affecting him? He's in 13th, and he's made another mistake. We could see Yannick go out in top 14.
And not even get a oh no. Throwing Flo, don't throw this. No,
As
please.
The PayPal came through to Flo. Is Yannick going to get a good book side? He does. He's catching up. Is it going to be enough? Iramis is in front of him. Goes for that low jump into the finish. Again, Yannick is saved. Lucius!
Oh, that's big. Oh,
that's big.
And look
Lucius
at Enix this time.
So much happened in that round. That's world record just set by Enix at 51.171 as the 3rd place player with the 3rd fastest time. Lucius goes out this round behind Yannick, who was in the danger zone. So all our top 3 contenders part of the action in that round.
Yannick's again saved by absolute pure PayPal, right? That's got some real PayPal energy to it, if I've ever seen it. Obviously, PayPal is a joke, but it is still a funny joke. It's like saying VAC when you watch some Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
When someone hits a beautiful shot. I mean, obviously, it's half luck and half skill, but what you can control is all skill. What you can't control is luck. And Yannick is very lucky to not be eliminated after 2 rounds of being in red for most of it.
Yeah, and I think it's coming down to that cut transition and that landing. And I think that's what's happening to Flo as well in this round. The loading player who messed up the cut is in that danger zone, and nobody is ahead of him. I think Jog is finished. Flo is going to go through the finish, and he will be out with a DNF from Voleur de Port. And those 2 players will be eliminated in this round in 12th and 11th, just missing out on that top 10. Must be quite disappointing.
Wonder who he stole the pork from. Well, whoever is out this round does not get a Liquipedia entry, so get set, get ready. This is the bubble round, ladies and gentlemen. And you don't want to be out this round. This is because afterwards you're in the Liquipedia page. You are in the money, as the poker players would say.
Yeah, and as the Trackmania players would say, you're in the mud if you're not in the top 8. As we have Iramis and Yager in the danger zone at the moment. Yag has made a big mistake. And there's a name we recognize, Pumpunks, who had that incredible snipe just a few rounds ago, who's still in. He's in top 10.
Jim. That's it. That's our 2, right?
That must be fatal. That is a fatal mistake. He's got very low speed. Tries to go for that outside dirt line to gain a bit more speed, but look at the acres of space in front of him. There's nobody to catch up, and it must be so disheartening going into this end, probably thinking, oh, everybody's finished. Iramis has made another mistake. Nico Jim goes through the finish. Iramis just behind him in 9th. Yog in 10th. Does he finish? No! To add insult to injury, Yog still with a top 10, which is very, very respectable. Will he be able to finish? With 30 seconds left, he goes for the risky fin again. And well played to Yog, well played to Yog, well played to Iramis. They go out of the competition in 9th and 10th.
Not being on the Liquipedia page, that's not very Yoggers, if I've ever seen it.
Can we get some Yoggers in chat?
Yoggers in chat for Yogg.
Rest in peace, Yogg, as we head into round number 17. We've already had 16 rounds. We have 8 players left. 2 more will be eliminated in this round, and we've got the cream of the crop now. These are the fast players. These are the players who are contending for that win. Nikojim, who was at risk in that last round, goes through this transition, gets a little bit of airtime, but essentially is not at the back. And who is at the back? It's Pumpunks and Jan van Speyk. The Dutch player and the French player who are going for the safe way aren't going for the cut. And they do pass out a lot of players. I think I saw BMX make a mistake. Tunix as well, the red-blue player. Nikojim is at the back again, and he's far back, over 3 seconds. Are they going to be able to catch up? I'm not sure.
Well, Tunix right now trying his best to keep up with it, but he's clipped as well. Nikojim's at least overtaken him, but let's see, if anyone fails this ending here, it'll be disastrous if it does happen. But, oh no, there is! It was Jam and Pumpunks! They've both made mistakes! And Nikojim and Tunix are somehow still alive.
Now, you spoke about PayPal. This is a massive bank transfer. I don't know how to describe it. That was incredible. Those 2 players messing up the finish. And we've seen so many people be consistent on that finish. But not this round. Not this round. Jam and Pumpunks are out due to those fatal mistakes, and Tunix and Nikojim stay in. We head into round number 18. 1 player will be eliminated. This is our top 6.
Yeah, Jan van Speyk, Tunix, Yannex, BMX, Enix, and Nikojim. I think every player here has done a 51, and so everyone is capable of getting first place here. Everyone knows how to do a fast climb. Jan van Speyk is the only one who's not in the top 5. Oh no, wait, Lucius is in there. Who's not in the top 5? That's looking like Nikojim?
I can tell you who's not in the top 5 at the moment. It's Yannex, because he's in 6th. He's made that same mistake again. And I don't know if this time he's going to be saved. It's just been too often that he's been making these mistakes.
PayPal?
Top 6.
PayPal moment.
You've called it. You've called it.
PayPal
We're watching
incident.
Tunix. The money has been sent over, but the transfer has not been received.
No confirmation.
Absolute scam from Tunix, and he'll take the money and run into top 5, leaving Yannex behind him. The BDS player goes out in 6th.
Oh man. Well, now he's locked up and he's completely stuck in 6th place. Not an M to the end of that. And so now, top 5.
Top 5 with Jan van Speyk, Tunix, BMX, Enix, and who is Nikojim? Nikojim. So we have, is it 4 French players and 1 Dutch player?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it is. And we have the French army at the front, the battalion, who are leading the way in front of Jan van Speyk, who's going to go for this safe way. He has done all competition long. The only player going for the cut is Tunix, who comes out essentially with less speed, and he's messed up his cut, and it's put him at risk. He's in the danger zone. He's in the red. Is he going to be able to catch up going into this end? We've seen a lot of mishaps, a lot of PayPals, and we've seen another one.
We've seen a Tunix special here, ladies and gentlemen. The Yap Pole. As 10 seconds behind and all 4 of the other players finish. Very close fight, and Enix keeps getting these .1s. This is like the 4th .1 that he gets.
That's
51
point. Yeah.
Yeah. He got a 145, and he's gotten 2.17s as well. So, prediction time, ladies and gentlemen. Enix, Nikojim, Jan van Speyk, and BMX are the 4 players left alive. Who do you think has it? And if you're going for anyone other than Enix, are you trolling?
Are you trolling? What are you doing with your money? Because Yannex tried to PayPal to Tunix, but I think the transfer got there a bit too late because he PayPal the round after. Difficult situation to be in as we go into this 20th round out of 22. Who is that at the back? I think it is Nikojim, but he's in a close fight with Jan van Speyk and the 2 other French players. Nobody going for the cut this time. Enix, seeing that he's fast enough to win every round going the normal way, he goes with it again. and it's working out for the moment. He is faster than the 3 other players, and essentially he's faster than Jan van Speyk, who's in that last position at the moment. In a very close fight going into the end, as they go into that dirt transition into the bug slide. One player is a bit slower. Jan van Speyk doesn't get the bug slide, essentially. He's slower than the 2 other players. Is anybody going to miss the finish? I don't think they will, and Jan van Speyk will go out. Our top 3 are French players. They are Nicojim, BMX, and Enix.
All right. Well, now it's all French. It's a French podium at this point in time. The Team 300 player, Jan van Speyk, is out in 4th, and that is a little bit worrying, right? Because, of course, Zederate's happy that 3 Frenchmen are in the top 3, but you don't know who's going to win just yet, right? Obviously, Enix is the fastest one, but one fatal mistake here, and the other players have shown that they have the speed to keep up with Enix, right? Of course, they're about a second behind because they're not taking the risky line, but Nicojim's small mistake there could cost him. Same with BMX. They're already a quarter of a second behind, as everyone's taking safe line at this point, my bad, as Enix as well. He's not even going for the risky. Wait, is he getting 51s without the risky?
Without
no
the risky?
way.
As there's a massive bonk coming through from Nicojim, BMX. Full safe, ultra safe. We have to ultra safe going into this end because Nicojim is far behind. As the 2 players in front look like they're going to head straight into the final. If there's no mishaps, and there are not, Nicojim is going to go out in 3rd. As it's a very respectable 3rd position, and it's his brother-in-arms, BMX, who's going to face off against the mighty Enix, who has led this competition, you have to say, from the first few minutes of Discovery right until the final. And
so
he knows,
in fact, he got world record that round.
I didn't even notice that. I'm just so used to seeing 51 lows that he just did a 51 flat. As we go into the final round, it's BMX against Enix. Enix knows he's the fastest. Is that going to get to him? Is he going to struggle in this round? BMX going with a wider line. Enix going with the wider line into the jump now. Who gets the lowest airtime? Enix does, with essentially a little bit more speed. As we go into this grass transition now and into the part with the cut, BMX going with the lower line. Enix is still ahead. He's far ahead. He's pulling away even. Is BMX going to be able to catch? We're going into the outside dirt section and there's a mistake again. Again from BMX, there's a mistake on that rock. And it's looking like it's just going away from him. Enix is going into the end, but there's a bonk. It's that bonk that you talked about, but is it faster?
Yeah. It is way
It seems
faster.
like it is. It is faster, and he's going to get...
No!
What happened? What happened?
He threw! He threw the ending! Enix!
Enix, man!
Enix.
It seemed like Enix's engine just cut out mid-air, and BMX says thank you very much. That's a win
Renault
for me.
reliability right there. That's what happens when you drive a French car.
Oh la 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 la. I think we blessed the French players today with our intro, and essentially we blessed the BMX because it's a gift from the gods that he's been given to win this mini RPG of the week. But fair play to him. He bonked, he kept going, got there first. That's all that counts.
Oh man, and someone else predicted BMX. That was Jaxie, who won that prediction in the chat. So everyone down there, Jaxie, as BMX is our winner after a nice gear down straight from the car. Oh man, how sad is that, right? Like, you drove perfectly, you drove world record after world record, round after round, and then your engine's like, yeah, no Renault reliability right here, gone.
Just, you know, we have an issue, engine cut out, and you know, it's that same saying. It's like, this is rounds, this is a Cup of the Day format. If your goal is to get first, then all the rounds before don't matter if you don't get first in that last round. Essentially, Enix didn't. He knew he was the fastest. Everybody knew he was the fastest. He was doing world records in rounds, as you mentioned. But it doesn't matter. If BMX gets to the line first, then he wins, and that's just what happened.
And he wasn't even doing the risky line, right? Where the skip. So on top of that, we could probably see a mid 50, right? Being done in Hunt. And I'd probably even guess to say this could be somewhere in like 50.2 categories. Fast. I saw that was about 0.8 faster than the regular line, so maybe 0.8. But I don't know if we're going to see a 49, though. this toonie is still on the line here.
Well, mine is staying right where it is because we essentially didn't get to make our bet in the end, as it's just falling on the ground. But anyway, that was some competition. I think Enix the favorite from probably 2 minutes into Discovery up until the end, and yeah, I think this is the story about how Enix threw. You know, it was his for the taking, but just didn't manage to get it. So I hope he's not watching the stream. Yeah.
Man, how rough is that? You lead from the very beginning of the warm-up phase, and you absolutely dominate. You dominate nearly every single round. You get world record time after time after time. I think you got it like 5 times.
Yeah.
In that match, if not a bit more even. And it was just so consistent towards the end, and a gear down ruins it all. It all unravels. It all blows up in his face. GP2 engine. GP2.
It's the action all the way to the finish, and it's what we love about Mini RPG of the Week. And it proves it week after week, and it's so great to see, so great to be a part of, and yeah, some great action that we've seen today. I'm very pleased with the performance of everyone, and everybody should be happy with their performance, even though I'm sure Enix isn't feeling that way.
I think he uninstalled the game, from what I understand. Yeah, and he sent that map into Oblivion. Speaking of that map, that got minus into Oblivion, and so hopefully the mapper does change his name to Big Lols, because I don't think that map was as enjoyed as he hoped it to be.
I think it would have worked very well as a track of the day map, as you mentioned. It's that RPG sort of style, but still a kind of a flowy transitional map. It's less reliant on very dank tricks, more reliant on that pace. Yeah, but still looked like quite an enjoyable map. I think it still achieved what the mapper wanted, which was just to be a map that was fun to play.
And I hope that he enjoyed watching everyone, completely destroy his author time, but also prove us wrong every single time. Oh, wow, we're going to see a 53 here. Oh, okay, a 52.4. Okay, are we going to see a 51? I doubt it. Okay, he's pretty much done a 51. Okay, nice.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it from the first few minutes if we were going to see those times, and essentially we saw much better than what we could have imagined.
Well, hopefully next week there's a little bit more of a challenge, right? Last week was all about players not even getting a single author time, and this week, I mean, if you got author time, you were practically out by the time it was in top 16. So, yeah, rough scenes all around, right? Maybe, hopefully, we see a more diverse map next time we come around, and I think we will, all things considered. Thank you, Babs, for being with me. You've pacified everyone in chat alongside me. We've put them all to bed. I think they're all going to be happy, and happy dreams for everyone here. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Thank you to you, COTD. It's been enjoyable as always. Such a great community to be a part of, such a great event. Thanks to everybody who puts it together. Thanks to the mappers. Thanks to the players. Congratulations, everyone. And yeah, another great week of Mini RPG of the Week. I guess we'll see you guys next week. Good evening et bonne soirée.
Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect. My name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain. I don't even know my name. It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy, but I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams.
Love me, cause I don't think I love me anymore. Maybe I think too much, so I drink to rush all my demons out the door. Tell me that it's all inside my head. Call it OCD, tell me it's you, not me, cause it's driving me mad.